next story is really important. A warning tonight, every parent needs to hear. Listen to this. The FBI is tracking an increase in activity from a network called 764.
Really frightening. This is a network of online predators looking to exploit kids on the devices and the apps they're using the most, manipulating them into doing horrible things, acts of violence. And it is happening not just across the country, but particularly right here in the tri-state.
Yeah, and we've partnered with ABC News to report on this important warning. Investigative reporter Dan Krauth joins us now with more. And Dan, this is really alarming for parents.
Yeah, well, many people don't even know this is happening. The FBI says this is the #1 threat against children right now. Since we first reported on this issue back in May, the FBI has opened at least 100 additional investigations into violent extremists online, and a young man in New Jersey was arrested just last week. They're finding kids online, on gaming sites and social media, befriending them and then extorting them, making the child do things to harm themselves or others.
If your child is on social media, they're likely to be a target of this. It's just that simple.
Matthew Kreiner is with the Institute for Countering Digital Extremism.
This activity is growing exponentially at times.
A 21-year-old man in New Jersey was arrested and charged last week on cyberstalking charges. Prosecutors say he used the internet to threaten a minor female and told her to cut herself. On 2 occasions, the minor female cut her arms after being threatened. A federal complaint shows he also wrote things like this: "There's not enough school shootings. Society must collapse to stop white genocide." And 764 is my favorite, honestly, because they go after minority kids. The defendant waived his right to a preliminary hearing on Friday. Why would someone want a child to do something like this?
It sounds terrible, but these individuals want control. They want power. They want to be able to say to their peers and to be able to rise in the ranks of these groups that they've made others do these terrible things to themselves.
Which is why we've decided not to publicly name those accused of the crime.
Everything they can do to raise their profile, whether it's harming other people or just getting mentions in media or a combination between the two, that's what they're after.
Probably one of our favorites.
ABC News anchor Juju Chang interviewed the parents of 13-year-old Jay Taylor, who died by suicide after authorities say a 764 member in Germany pushed him to take his own life. The man being prosecuted has denied the charges against him.
It's one thing to learn that your child died by suicide. It's another thing to learn that people were watching.
Right.
And egging him on.
Sickening.
The National Center for Missing and Exploited Children says this year alone, it's on track to receive nearly 2,000 reports of abuse tied to 764 or similar online networks, much of it starting on popular online platforms. The FBI director calls it modern-day terrorism in America.
By going after them online, causing self-mutilation, suicide, sexual abuse, and steering them in the wrong direction.
While online activity has picked up, so have the steps federal investigators say they're taking to find online extremists. What would be your #1 message for parents?
Have the difficult conversations now about what your child may or may not be exposed to online. It's very similar to the birds and the bees conversation. It's going to be painful. It's uncomfortable, but they need to hear it.
They need to hear it. The FBI says extremists typically threaten victims, saying they'll post where they live and information about their families if they do not cooperate with what they're saying online. That's why they say it's very important for parents to have open and honest conversations with their children about this.
And you also say that they catch them in compromising positions.
Yeah, one of the biggest offenses right now is child pornography. Threatening the child, if they don't shoot this, they're going to post it, and then they end up posting it anyways.
It's
so crazy.
764, why that number?
764 is the first portion of the zip code in Texas where one of these cases originally started, and it kind of expanded globally from there.
I'm a parent, got 3 kids, 11, 7, 9 years old. I've talked to friends today. I've never heard of this 764. Why are we just now hearing about this?
Right. Well, it picked up a lot during the pandemic when a lot of kids were doing online learning and online everything, basically. And the extremists have gotten really good at manipulating them, and it's showing in the cases that we're seeing from the FBI.
Well, necessary reporting, Dan. Thank you so much.
Thank you.